Alright, welcome to Doozer Shop. Let me get in the frame here. Alright, good evening. As always, I'm giving some updates on the Brown & Sharp 13 Universal Cylindrical Grinder. So it's Saturday, and I get to play in my shop. Last time I showed you guys the VFD and the digital readout, and you guys have seen the dust tray on the back of the table, and I got that put back on the grinder, and I've been playing around with the vacuum guards, and I looked at the factory pictures of the guards, and the way that the wheel interacts with the shaft, it shoots the sparks straight down, and that's kind of where the factory guard picks up the sparks. But I'll show you again, this guard, it kind of picks it up as if the sparks are shooting back, which is not optimal. But anyways, I cut my tray out that was going to catch the dust so I could swivel the wheel head all the way around. Because that grinding wheel, it swivels like 180 degrees because it's a universal grinder. It's made for doing different heights for end mills and all kinds of sharpening features. But the 13 is a real good cylindrical grinder. So that's primarily what I'm going to leave it set up as, I think. I've got enough end mills, and I can sharpen the end of the end mill with the surface grinder with a little jig, so I'm not going to ever tear this down from cylindrical mode. But anyways, because the cutout in the tray for clearance for swiveling the wheel head leaves some exposed area for grit to get down where the turret kind of goes underneath the, I guess you'd call it the table. So I was racking my brain for an elegant solution. I thought a rubber mud flap around like a skirt, kind of like a more jig bore would have, or jig grinder rather. And I didn't have any, well, my favorite material is rubber roof membrane made for flat roof. That's what I used on my Brown & Sharp, Boyer Schultz surface grinder, is that rubber mud flat material for flat roofs, and it's very good rubber, but I don't have any. So I had some covers, some steel covers made to go on a door closer up on the door. And I thought, I got a couple in my toolbox just as dividers in the drawer to put my open end wrenches in, just as like you'd have your steak knives in your kitchen, those little Rubbermaid or whatever dividers. But anyways, I had this metal, here, right there. And actually, not this exact, a very similar one I cut down. And it's just, what I did is I put it underneath the wheel to catch the grit on top of the tray, the dust tray that I had already made. So it kind of covers that area that's cut out. But anyway, let me take a handheld and I'll show you my progress. I'm pretty excited about it. These videos might not be super interesting, but to me I get a kick out of working on machines and making accessories for machines like my digital readout stand and all. Even little, I want to use some of these eventually and make a little tool shelf on the front to put your calipers in or mics or whatever. But I really like setting up a machine, fixing machine and setting up a shop to make it comfortable to use and all the tools at the ready, close at hand. And this 13 grinder, before I show you, I want to tell you a story. I really wanted a 13 because my friend Mark he had a 13 and he still has it. And boy, I thought, what a great machine a cylindrical grinder is, because I was getting into stuff in my own messing around projects with mini bikes and dirt bikes and motorcycles, where I needed to modify hard shafts, grind them down, or turn them down in the lathe, and it's so hard to turn them in the lathe unless you got a really good lathe like a Harding or a Monarch or a whatever, or just a big heavy engine lathe like a LeBlanc that's rigid enough to do some hard turning. But my friend Mark, boy, he had that 13 and it was cake, cutting down, modifying hard shafts. So I found one at the Bosse's Hartness Center in West Seneca, New York, and I bid on it. They're closing, or they're getting rid of it. And I bid on it and I won it. I think I paid like $350 bid, and I won it. And it was funny, ironic. I took a machining class there, and I remember the machine. And then it was up for bid, and I won it through Auctions International, the Cunningham's auction house there. And my friend was supposed to help me pick it up, and we had it all lined up, and then at the last minute, he had to help someone else with his trailer. I think it was his son, so I get it. And then I didn't have a way to transport it that day. It was supposed to get out of there, and I have a friend that's a rigger, or a machine dealer rather, and I ended up selling it to him for the same one I paid for it, and I lost it. And I should have just paid him to bring it to my shop, and I don't know, I didn't think of it. But anyways, I always wanted a 13. So my friend that day that he was supposed to help me with the trailer, that same friend, it had to be 15 years later, he came across a 13 somehow that came from Kodak, and he offered it to me for sale, to me to buy, and I was very grateful. And this is that green 13 that I've been showing you guys. So it actually worked out kind of good, I guess. I ended up with a 13 a little bit later in life, about 15 years later, and that's cool. But you know what? This, as I've been showing you guys with these videos, it's pristine. So I think, good things go to those who wait. I don't know, maybe not, but this is a honey of a machine. Let me show you the tray that I come up with today. And thanks for listening to my 13 story and why I'm so happy to have it. Let me get you a handheld here. Okay. We got a cell phone call. We're going to mute that. All right. Hard to see, but there's my tray. Thank you, leave a message. I'm shooting a video. That's that door closer cover I was telling you guys about, and it's I think it's on a rail here. It's got 80/20. I gotta cut it shorter. Let me go around the front of the machine. Now Toby probably wants to go get some Mexican food. I'm all about that. I have to call him back. So, there's the wheel and the guard, and I got it all the way forward, the wheel, as much as it can go. Kind of peer over, if I can here, to show you. That catches all the grit, and man, I can kind of come around here and show you the cutout on the other side there. Yeah, see how I got it cut out? Ignore the black lamp in the picture. But yeah, that's the tray. Sorry for the shakiness. As it's cut out, and you can see that additional tray I added sits on top, right under the wheel to catch the grit. Otherwise, that green area is, where it's cut out for the turret, that would go down and get the grit underneath the, the table in there. So you can see that new tray comes right up to the table, and we can kind of see it just barely touches it, and it is adjustable a little bit. It's not going to scrape or nothing, but it sits right on there on the big main tray that I just made that's painted silver. There's no paint on my new tray. Let me come around the side as I originally zip you around here. Yep. Let me kind of give you a good shot. Yeah. So there's the wheel, and there's the table. Those two nuts on the table, that's the upper table, so it traverses. And the tray just kind of sits on top of the original tray that I had made, and it catches all the grit from the wheel. You can kind of see, boy, that thing is perfectly lined up underneath there. It just sits on top. So I'm going to back up. I'm going to show you what's kind of cool. I'm going to grab the 80/20. It's a slotted aluminum T-slot rail, and it just retracts back out of the way. So if you got to swivel your turret, you can see now you got your clearance kind of right there, see? And you can swivel it, and when you want to put it back in position, boy, because it's a T-slot nuts, or T-nuts go in these slots. So I got the two screws on the top, which affix it, the tray to the extruded aluminum T-slot. It's called 80/20, and I got in the original tray two cap screws, 1/4 20s. I'm going to get these little plastic head push-on thumb screws to tighten and loosen that, so I can move it in. I'm going to cut it off to the right length there. I just got it long a little bit, but anyways. But I just want to show you guys. I'm going to what I got going on here with this additional grit tray for the Brown & Sharp 13. Catch all the grinding grit or swarf or whatever you guys call it. And I think it's a good solution to catching the grit. Like I say, it just slides out of the way and slides back in position, and because of the T-slots, the T-nuts and the T-slots. So, and anyhow, I wanted to bring you guys up to date on this. This, where the vacuum collects, remember I said I was looking for something to fit in there. 2 3/4 is the inside of there, and this is a 2-inch PVC fitting, an elbow obviously, and it's a street L. So this has the hub, and this is no hub, but the hub, it just happens to be exactly on the outside 2 3/4, and that fits in there rather tightly. And so I'm super happy about that. And I got a reducer from 2 down to 1.5, and then I think I got to go to 1 1/4 is what the shop vac hose is. So yeah, that works really well. And actually it must be some kind of size, because I got a shot of this grinder at Kodak with their dust collection system, and 2 3/4 must be some kind of industrial vacuum hose size or something. But I got that rigged up to the PVC elbow, and that's going to work for me. So like I say, I want to show you guys my little creation there with the grit tray made out of a cover that's made to go on a door closer up on a door, and just giving you a little update and a little bit of history about why I wanted this Brown & Sharp 13 so much. But until next time, I'm going to go eat some Mexican food right now. This is Doozer Shop.